Vibes fans. Welcome to episode 6 of season 9 of the Good Vibes Show by me, Jared Haley, part of the Special Chronicles Network. So hope you've been enjoying this whole season with the theme of neurodiversity around it. And then an exciting trip so far. We're halfway through the season, and I still have another half to go. Still have another 6 more episodes to go for you folks. So I hope you've been enjoying catching up on Good Vibes all of season 9 as well, all his previous seasons, plus my special The Road to USA 2022 Special Olympics USA Games, all on Spotify. But if you type in Good Vibes Show by Jerry Holy on Spotify, you'll be able to find it, or Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from, folks. So let's jump into today's appreciation support advice, which goes to neurodiverse individuals. So I know this seems far-fetched. I've been talking about all these things, but now I'm just talking about neurodiverse individuals in general, because we all deserve appreciation and support, as including I'm one of those folks as well. So I think we just need to talk about it, obviously, and it is kind of a big deal, in which I reckon, not just because if anyone's going to watch this video, I have a hat that says big, which is kind of funny to say that, but what I'm saying here is that all of us neurodiverse individuals, or neurodivergents as we like to call ourselves sometimes, we like to be part of, we're part of society, and we may think differently, but we're contributing people in society, and we deserve a lot of appreciation and support by us, because one, we do so many things. For example, for me in my job, I'm a data management specialist, but I could do data analysis, and the kicker in all this is I have no formal education in data management and analysis. My actual college degree is in integrated studies with a concentration in social science for secondary education. Yeah, that tells you a lot right there, that I had no clue how to do any data work at all, and yet I know how to do it just because I'm so top. There are people out there who are just like that too. Like my friends Josh and Dave, the hosts of the Sounds Like Autism podcast. I know I already gave them a shout out as an influencer, but you're also neurodiverse individuals as well, because you do so much. And for example, my friend Josh, he actually has created the first ever neurodiversity pride flag, I believe it is. He can double check me on this if he ever sees this episode, and he can mention it. But it's a flag that represents, that is actually showing appreciation to neurodiversity, and he just flew it just earlier this week. I wish I could have been there, but I saw it, and I would love to actually eventually have him back on the show just to talk about that neurodiversity flag. It'd be so great. I think it's neurodiversity pride, but I think it's just the neurodiversity flag, to be 100% sure. So he can have a little fun conversation with me on that another time. But another person I wanted to give sort of shout-outs is to Haley Moss, the first openly autistic female lawyer in the state of Florida. And Haley and I are very good friends, as well as like Josh and Dave. And she's very neurodiverse as well. And she sort of expresses as well. And like out of those three alone, they have all done TEDx talks, in which maybe that's a subject to be talked about another time. Maybe I may have a TEDx talk eventually myself. Big whatever, obviously. But the point of what I'm saying is, neurodiverse individuals like Josh, Dave, Haley, and myself all deserve a lot of appreciation for us, because we do so much, and we are pretty well appreciated for what we do. Sometimes we may be overlooked sometimes, but one, those who take the opportunity to look at us and give us an opportunity show that we can do so much. So, before we move into today's positive and uplifting lives, here's our great sponsor ad from our sponsor, the Special Chronicles Network. The Give Back Show is proud to be featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Good Vibes Show by me, Jerry Holy. If you love The Good Vibes Show, then you love the art podcast on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media. And to support the podcast on Special Chronicles so we can continue our mission of giving respect and voice to people with special talents and abilities, visit specialchronicles.com/give to make a gift today. So for today's positive uplifting vibes is, I've done this whole theme of trying to get to know what neurodiversity is, so I'm going to choose appreciate neurodiversity. So this goes hand in hand with today's theme, with today's positive, with appreciation and support vibes, because one, you have to appreciate neurodiversity, because one, the appreciate is actually a big thing, because I think a lot of people where I work, a lot of people appreciate it. There are going to be a lot more people appreciating it, possibly because I'm starting up a neurodiversity affinity group, and it's going to pretty much be maybe a hit or miss, but however, it is a major milestone to happen in our organization to have that type of conversation brought up. But if you also look at it in many ways, though, too, we're appreciating neurodiversity there, but there's always neurodiversity is appreciated too. Like obviously, like I said earlier, my friend Josh making the first neurodiversity flag. That's one. Disability Pride Month, which is another thing that actually represents neurodiversity in itself too. I think so many people really just need to understand and appreciate neurodiversity in itself because some people just don't get it. I'm not saying it as a sad fact, honestly, folks. It just happens because there's some people who I dare not name some who just see people with disabilities don't even have their disability or different ability at all. They just see it as a neurotypical person. And so the reality is, we're not neurotypical. We're neurodiverse, and we're totally different from folks. And we're not different in any way because everyone is different, obviously. But we just think differently, think outside the box differently, and we're just amazing individuals. And they appreciate neurodiversity in itself is a major thing because you have to look at what I said in the past 5 episodes to get to this point that you have to appreciate neurodiversity. And it's just so needed that we have to appreciate all our neurodiverse friends, individuals, co-workers, family members. It's like a lot of things we have to appreciate for it. And I think it's going to take time to obviously appreciate neurodiversity, but once you start appreciating it, it is going to actually make your life so much better, folks. So just highly recommend you all to appreciate neurodiversity more and actually talk to people who are neurodiverse more as well. So let's wrap up today's episode once again with our sponsor ad from the Special Chronicles. The Give Back Show is proudly featured on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to follow on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Be sure to also subscribe to the newsletter and find the podcast page for this podcast, The Give Back Show by me, Jerry Hilly. If you love The Give Back Show, then you love the other podcasts on the Special Chronicles Network. Visit specialchronicles.com for links to subscribe to our podcast, newsletter, and to follow us on social media, and to support the podcast on the Special Chronicles Network so we continue our mission of giving respect and voice to people with special talents and abilities. Visit specialchronicles.com/give to make it take. So I think I'm going to do a quick double check on what actually my friend Josh's flag is, but I might bring that up in next episode to say because I may have said Neurodiversity Pride, Neurodiversity flag. So I apologize to Josh right now if I missaid how I was supposed to say, but I think it may be Neurodiversity String Flag. I had to double check what the official name is, but I believe it's Neurodiversity Flag, but I may correct that in the upcoming episode, folks. So anyway, remember to follow the Good Vibes Show on Instagram at GoodVibesByJH. Sadly, new episodes can't be posted on there. And Facebook, facebook.com/GoodVibesByJH. That's where you can catch the filming element of the Good Vibes Show. And you can also catch it on YouTube if you follow my YouTube channel as well. But also subscribe to the Good Vibes Show by Jerry Hilly on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts from. Last time I checked, it was like 439 unique listens. I know I'm slowly inching my way to 450. I'm hoping by the end of this year, 500. I'm maybe not a big influencer, but those who I influence at least, hey, I'm doing my job for you folks. So, until next time, enjoy your week, everyone. I'll see you next time for episode 7, everyone. Peace out, bloop, blah, and have a great week, everyone. Bye, everyone.